What if I told you you could improve your ability to learn simply by improving your mindset? Think about it. Do you know what your strengths and weaknesses are? Maybe you're someone who's great at sports, or maybe you really like math. Whatever you're good at, you're bound to have something that you're bad at too, right? Most people will usually run into something like this when they are in school or trying to learn something new. They sit down to try and study whatever subject they're trying to learn and just can't seem to grasp it. This results in a lot of frustration where most people end up quitting because they just feel like they're not smart enough or skilled enough at whatever task they're trying to learn. They think that they just weren't cut out for it. I know that I was the type of person who just thought I wasn't a fitness person. But this is where most people fail. Whenever you tell yourself you're just not good enough or smart enough, you are experiencing what's called a fixed mindset. And really, to take hold of your life and be able to learn anything that you want, you need to apply a growth mindset, which is going to bring us to today's video. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Tyler Warlow and I go by The Mengineer. I make videos on how to improve your life through your confidence, capabilities, and overall happiness. So in today's video, I figured that I would talk a little bit about growth mindset, what it is and how you can apply it to try and learn pretty much anything that you want. If that sounds interesting to you, let's go ahead and jump right into the video. The first thing you need to understand is what is the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. A fixed mindset is the inherent belief that your personal qualities such as intelligence or talent are fixed and finite. This means that they are permanent and unable to be changed. A common situation where people have fixed mindsets are in school. For instance, when I was younger, I considered English to be my worst subject. And whenever I did poorly in it, I just said, well, I just am not good at English. There's nothing I can really do about that. That is a fixed mindset. You don't believe that you're capable of growing and learning and changing. Dr. Carol Dweck is the one that coined the term growth mindset. It was used to describe her research on ways to improve learning, and it essentially is the belief that our inherent abilities, like intelligence that I mentioned earlier, are subject to change and malleable given the right resources, time, and attention. Generally speaking, people have a tendency to form fixed or growth mindsets earlier on in life due to the experiences that they had as a kid. And this commonly comes from different types of feedback. There's performance-based feedback, and then there is effort-based feedback. Performance-based feedback is something that can lead to a fixed mindset when we are young. This is because this feedback is based on a person's inherent qualities that they then begin to attribute as their identity. For instance, whenever a parent tells a child, "You're so smart, you're so talented," that child begins to believe that and identify themselves as that type of personality, that they are smart, that they are intelligent. This can become a problem whenever a child begins to encounter things that challenge that belief. Say, for instance, that they get their first bad grade on a test. This can cause them a lot of anxiety, and a lot of kids tend to end up avoiding things that challenge those beliefs. This is because this is what they have learned all of growing up. So if they've been told that they're so smart this entire time, and then suddenly they've gotten a C, well, that must mean that they're not smart. And because they have associated that with their identity, that becomes something that is extremely anxiety inducing. The other type of feedback that you can give kids is based on effort. Effort-based feedback is a lot more likely to lead to the growth mindset. And this is because it is based on the actions that an individual took. By giving feedback saying things like you worked so hard or you put in a lot of effort there, it's not causing the child to put that as part of their identity. If anything, they'll start to associate their identity as someone who is willing to put in a lot of effort, rather than associating their identity with an outcome. This is beneficial because this makes the child much more likely in the future to be willing to take on hard challenges and also not be so afraid of failure. One thing that's important to note is that it's especially important to give this feedback even when someone does well, and not just when they end up falling short of whatever goal they were aiming for. By consistently giving this type of feedback whenever they are doing well or whenever they're doing poorly, they begin to associate themselves as someone who's willing to work hard in order to achieve what they're looking for. It's also important to note that a growth mindset is not about the inherent belief that working hard will get you whatever you want. Rather, it's more about believing that you are capable of doing what you want given the right resources. So knowing that you can reframe your mindset around how you go about learning new things. Whenever you go into something, if you are finding it difficult or challenging, rather than telling yourself that you must not be cut out for it, you want to reframe your mindset to be like, this is going to take time for me to learn, but I know given enough time that I will be able to learn it. And that's going to be the first step. But that's not the only thing that you want to do in case you want to boost your ability to learn. The other thing that you want to keep in mind is your inherent belief about stress. Most of us have been told that stress is really bad for us, so you want to try and avoid it at all costs. This can unfortunately lead to a little bit of a problem when you're learning new things. Here's the thing. Learning new things is inherently stressful. You're not going to understand it the first time because it's something that's new and it's usually not going to come naturally to you. But that frustration is a natural part of the learning process. In fact, it's a sign that you are learning. So going back to why our belief around stress can be limiting to learning. We are told that stress is not good for us and that we should avoid it. So when people start learning something new and they start experiencing the physical symptoms of stress, they start to feel like this isn't something I should be doing. I'm just not cut out for it. Learning shouldn't be this difficult. And as a result, they end up quitting and dropping whatever it is they're learning. However, if you can shift your mindset even further and understand that stress is a natural part of the learning process, you can begin to reframe things a little bit. On top of that, if you believe that stress is actually something that is able to enhance your efforts to learn, that's going to help boost your ability to learn even further. Now, what do I mean by this? We've been told that stress is bad, but in reality, there are a lot of positive benefits that stress can have for you. When you're stressed, your body is going to release adrenaline, which can help improve alertness and focus. On top of that, because of the boosted alertness and focus, you're going to improve your ability to do cognitive thinking. And finally, short bouts of stress actually help improve your immune system and help it to stave off infection. Now, it's important to keep in mind here that this is in short doses of stress. If you are experiencing chronic stress, then that is actually something that is going to have more of a long-term effect that's negative on your health. But when it comes to learning, you're usually experiencing that stress in small doses because when you sit down to study, I don't know about you, but I don't do more than a couple hours. So I experience that stress in a short dose, and it can improve all of these things that I'm trying to work on. By combining the growth mindset along with the belief that stress can actually improve your ability to learn, you're setting yourself up for a cocktail that can provide you a huge boost in learning moving forward. I provided a very high-level summary of this information. If you want some information that dives much deeper and gets into the science behind this, check out Andrew Huberman. He actually has a couple of podcast episodes on this very subject, and he definitely dives into it a lot deeper and much better than I possibly could. If you found the information in today's video to be helpful or informative at all, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel to join me along in this self-improvement journey. If you have any of your own thoughts, ideas, or opinions, let me know with a comment down below. If you're interested in more videos like this one where I talk about learning, check out this video right here where I read every single day for 30 days. If you're interested in my more recent stuff, be sure to check out this video right here. But until the next time, this is the Mengineer, signing off.